Hey, everybody, welcome to our first show in February, the Calgary Real Estate Show. On this, I call it twilighty outside for those that are fans of that show. It's very twilighty. It's like gray and foggy, and I'm going to use the word hoarfrost because that's the only word I know.
In this situation, it's incredibly appropriate, and it's. I'm looking out my window, and it's beautiful.
It is
Yeah,
beautiful if you like
yeah,
gray. Yes,
you like
yes.
gray. But the bright spot of the day is it's your birthday. So happy birthday.
Should
Yes,
we?
thank
Are we going to sing that? Because I'm prepared to sing.
I'll let you
No,
handle
let's
that on your own.
we can do that off air. We don't want to bore
Okay.
people with that. All right. Well, with that being said, yeah, I'm 55. There it is. And
Woohoo!
Natalie said I should just go Benjamin buttoning it backwards. So
I
since I
started
met you,
that at
Natalie, that
40,
would mean I would be, oh my goodness, like 40.
35.
What's that?
You start at 40. Anyway, never mind.
Yeah, exactly. We
You're coming.
digress.
You're
We
coming back.
digress.
You're coming back around to me. We're gonna be peers pretty soon here, Mark.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, what happened in real estate this week? Well, I think we are starting to see early signs of our spring market. Look at the new listings, massive jump from last week. Solds, I mean, really, they've been pretty consistently in the 500s over the past few weeks, but we're now solidly into the 500s. Sale to new listing ratio still 114% this week. Last week it was really high at 133, but it's kind of averaging 120 to 130. Pendings were up again this week. So they've, well, not up again. They were up this week compared to last week, but significant jump there. Days on market really, really dropped. So if you remember last year, we kind of went through a dip in fall, and that's what we've been seeing in days on market when Natalie talks about last year at the same time. The days on market is actually astoundingly lower this. So active and pending at 2240. People are asking me and asking Natalie, like, what's going on in the market? Like, here's the deal. If we don't see a significant bump up in listings, prices are just going to continue to skyrocket in Calgary. So, with that said, Natalie, take us back a year.
All right. So in the real estate time machine, this year, we had 384 sales. This year, 499. So we're up almost 30%. New listings last year, 603. This year, 681. So it's up 12.9%. Actives last year, 2592. This year, 2259. So it's down almost 13%. Pendings at 670 last year, 599 this year. So it's down 10.6%. Here's the big one. Days on market last year, 38. This year, 25. So it's down 34%.
Yeah, and I would say the other big difference is those sales. And we've been seeing that, right? Like, doesn't seem to, like, Jaden, what would an interest we could do? We should add interest rates into this. What were interest rates about a year ago at this time?
Oh, I would say no. We would be looking at, like, we were still on that rapid rise, so I would say somewhere in that kind of 3.5%, somewhere in that range. Maybe high threes, right, going into the fours at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, even that's crazy, right? Like, look at and when we get to the month wrap up, and we'll get to maybe more of that then, because it's actually astounding to me that it really doesn't seem to matter what interest rates are, because people are dating the rate and marrying the house.
Yeah, and I think that goes exactly back to what you're talking about with the current amount of houses that we have. If prices are going to go up, it doesn't matter what your interest rate is. If your house is up, like if you think interest rates are going down, which I do, but if the house price is up by 50 grand 6 months from now, buy now and deal with the rate later, right? So and going back to the rates, really not a lot of change. I have updated them a little bit because the ones that I put up last week were rates that you're not seeing on any rate sheets anywhere. They're rates that I'm currently getting for my clients because they phoned and said, like, listen, I really want a 3-year fixed. I just think the 514 is a little bit too high. I've got I'm buying a house for 800,000, so it's a significant mortgage for the lender. Got great income. My credit is solid. See what you can do for me. Boom, 489. Right. So one of the things out there right now, when you see these rates, teaser rates of 399, Bill. I would say likely what that is. I've seen those out there. It's 6 month fixed at 399, and that is specifically brought in. It's a great product for the company and probably a terrible product for you. They get you in for 6 months at 399. Then at the end of that 6 month term, your broker, if they haven't read the rate thing, might tell you, well, then we'll just go back to market after 6 months and figure things out. No, you're going to be looking at least a 3-year fixed with most companies. They're not doing anything variable on the way out. And if you decide to go to market, you're looking at least a 1% penalty, right? So, RVs, I can't speak on that kind of stuff, Bill. Like RV vehicle financing, I can't speak on that. But if you are seeing those, because I am seeing the kind of significantly lower in the 6 month fixed, that's the catch, right? Like they're not doing it to give you a favor or do you a favor and let you get back into the market. They're doing it to capture you and make you their client down the line at rates that might not be favorable to you at that time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, good to know. Jaden telling it like it is on my birthday.
That's right.
No, and that's, and I think what's the old saying? If it seems to be too good to be true, it probably is. That'd be a good example of that.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about this feature. I called them handyman fails, but
Yes.
our teaser for today, but close enough.
Yes. So these are failed home features part 2. We always do something fun on the day we're doing the whole month end wrap up. So I love this floating fridge and stove. Or oven. It's very, Anyway, moving on. Dueling Thrones.
There you go, Jaden, for you and Paula, or you and your sons,
Exactly. If you just can't be alone in the bathroom, there you go.
Honestly, when we build the next house, all the downstairs bathrooms for the boys will have this. We'll just have the 3 across the way, 2 holding hands. Whoever the youngest is probably going to be in the middle.
All right. Wrong measurements. This one, I'm like, seriously, are you kidding me? So you got to reach way down to get the door open. Anyway, these steps have steps. So look carefully. There's an extra set of steps in front of each step. Like that is an ankle breaker waiting to happen right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Handyman special. Somebody went to Home Depot, bought an $89 laundry sink, and basically just sort of shoved it into their kitchen. So it's a real good look.
Oh, that's good.
And my favorite, the cushy bathroom carpet. That's going to smell.
You can just imagine the smells in this
The
bathroom.
smell would be, I can't.
But they did that. I had a house in Riverbend that would have been built in the late 80s, and it had carpet in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did our friend's house. It was really bad. Anyway.
So gross. So gross. All right. So some new community events for February. I want to highlight a couple here because we're going to get to our January wrap up. Chinook Blast. And I think Chinook Blast is like an ode to this time when the Olympics were here. If I'm remembering that correctly. Am I right on that, guys?
That's correct. So
lights, events, sports, music, just go to chinookblast.ca, find out all the locations, all the different things going on. Chinese New Year is happening. It's really a week-long event at the Chinese Cultural Center. Just Google it, go to global events on Global TV. Find out more about this. Here, Jaden, this is for you. I put this in just for you. Toddler time.
Thanks, buddy.
At Fort Calgary, happening Fridays so tomorrow, the 16th and 23rd, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., ages 0 to 5. Story time and crafts just for Jaden's kiddos. So
all my kids are 0 to 5, so that's perfect. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, so here's the January wrap up. We're going to give you the overview. We're going to delve into some more specific details on Calgary and the surrounding areas. But our benchmark price overall went up 10%. Look at the sales increase over 2023. It's almost like last year at this time, Jaden, like people were like, oh my goodness, the mortgage rates are going up. So they're like crawling, they're like turtling. Whereas this year, people are like, yeah, whatever, I can afford it. So sales are up 37.7%. Whereas new listings, they went up, but only by 15%, right? Like the numbers don't crunch. So that's why we have such an extreme seller's market that we're seeing right now. The inventory overall was down 12.3%. Months of supply down as well to 1.3. And then days on market overall down to 34. So let's delve in. I know this is a very detailed graph here. Pause it when you're watching it later. If you want a copy of this, just also drop a comment below. So let's look at detached. So sales were up 31% compared to last year. New listings up 9%. Overall, the inventory, though, ended the month down 13%, 1.35 months of inventory, and our pricing went up 13% year over year to 7,022. Semi-detached sales were up 18%. New listings up 49%. So that was a big jump there. Although total inventory, though, down 3%. So that's how sales versus listings works. 1.67 months of inventory, 625 was the price in January for an increase of 11%. This is a really interesting one. We've seen this with row townhouses really over the last couple of years. 42% increase in sales, 16% increase in new listings. Although inventory is still down 18% year over year, 92% of the listings sold in January of new listings. Months of supply, less than a month. That is correct. That's not a typo. That's 0.87. Prices went up accordingly 20% to 426. Apartments, massive amount of sales, 54% increase year over year, 17% up on new listings. But again, overall inventory is still down 12% year over year, 1.4 months of inventory, 324 was the price. That was an increase of 19%. So, just crazy numbers in January. Overall, our sales up 38% year over year, whereas new listings only up 15%. Again, those numbers don't crunch. Hence, why we have 1.3 months of inventory, why our prices went up overall 10%. All right, so a little bit more of a just diluted version for our bedroom communities. In Airdrie, the detached price up 10%, semi-detached up 11.6%, row townhouse 18.6%. So we're seeing the same thing in Airdrie that we're seeing in Calgary with row townhouses. But look at apartments in Airdrie, almost 29% up year over year, 275.6. 8% increase in new listings, 25% increase in sales. Inventory, though, really about the same as last year, and months of supply at 1.29. Up in Cochrane, detached prices up 10%, semi-detached up 10.7, row townhouse 10.8, apartment 10.1. Again, in Cochrane, they're just not quite Airdrie in terms of pricing. They got a lot going for them in Cochrane, but not quite the pricing increases that we saw in Airdrie. New listings up basically the same as last year. Sales up big time over last year. Inventory similar, 12.8% up. And months of supply still low, right? Like it's still low months of supply in Cochrane. And then finally in Okotoks, very similar story to Cochrane. Detached prices up 12.4%, semi-detached up 13.3%, row townhouse up 14.8%, apartment up 5.9%. So not nearly the increase that Airdrie saw in apartment, that almost 29% increase. New listings, though, up 54%. Sales up 53%. Again, these are really small numbers, guys, so I don't want to put a lot of stock in them, more just the price increases. But you can see the inventory basically the same at 57. But again, months of supply, that's what we're talking about right now. Months of supply, because that indicates whether we're in a buyer's or seller's market. Strong seller's market right now. So we always like breaking down, what does this all mean to you? Well, it really depends on which side of the ledger you're on. I think if you're a buyer, like we have a buyer on a search right now down here in the south part of Calgary, there's product coming up every day and then it goes pending, right? We're in a very quick market. The pace of the market is fast. So you have to be ready when you got your list together and it gets to 85% of your checklist, you got to be ready to jump in to the market. Get your pre-approval done through Jaden so you know exactly what you can afford. We, of course, provide you with essentially like what we call a quick CMA. So you're going to know our home's selling for 100%, 101, 102, 98, 99. So you're going to know how much you can go to your budget. And then on the selling side, I think the big thing right now is you got to find something first. unless you are going to go live in an RV, which I think is a fantastic idea, and go down to Arizona. You want to find something first so you have somewhere to go. If we sell your place, we don't want you to be homeless. So we like you finding something first, getting a firm sale on that, and then trying to get as long a possession as possible so we can finagle the sale of your place and get it priced right and sold quickly. So that's it. 15 minutes.
Woo, that was quick.
And Bill, perfect timing.
Yeah, Bill was saying from your comment below about that teaser rate, too good to be true. Yes, exactly, Bill. Thanks for watching as always, and drop comments in the below section and the above section, depending on which social media. What is your prediction on interest rates? And do you know people that are buying in 2024 or selling? So I'd be really curious to hear that story as well. That's all.
Thanks, guys. Oh, sorry, I didn't know if you were asking me or the crowd, but that's up to the crowd. Thanks, guys.
Well, we know what your prediction is, so I'm just curious what everyone else's are.
Yeah, for sure. But you have a fantastic rest of your day. Happy birthday, Mark.
Yes.
Thanks. We're gonna go eat a big steak tonight, and we'll see everybody in 7 days.
Bye.